Hi guys, I'm John Blacher. We're at the Toronto International Boat Show. We're in the Highfield booth. We're friends of Mydealers.ca, so we thought we'd talk about a brand new boat with Highfield. So this is the new Velox 420. It's basically the hull of a 420 Sport, but there's no outboard on the back. This is now a 3-cylinder Rotax powered, 90 horsepower, rigid hull, jet inflatable. In fact, as far as I know, it's the first rigid hull aluminum jet inflatable in the world. And jet gives you some pretty big advantages over outboards. For one, it draws a lot less water. And two, there's no propeller in the water. So it's a little bit safer for wakeboard and water sports than maybe just a propeller boat. You don't have to teach anyone, don't back over your friends. But there's also some other very unique features to the jet-powered Velox that you can't find on a normal inflatable simply because of the engine packaging. So let's take a look. So the helm and the cockpit of the 420's Velox is very similar to the Sport 420. You've got a double wide bench seat and an awesome console to drive from. But that's where the differences start to appear. First of all, we have a digital LCD screen that shows you all of the engine parameters on this boat. This is something you don't directly get with most of the outboards. As you can see, it's a pretty big 5-inch screen. Steering effort on the jet boat is extremely light, but also very short. With an outboard engine, you're turning 1.5 times for full lock. And you can see here on the Velox, it's a 2/3 of a turn each way, that's it. So very, very rapid and responsive handling. And that's one of the biggest advantages to jet, is you get instant RPM and full thrust in under a second. So when you hammer the throttle, this thing takes off like a rocket. Now, one very unique thing about the Velox you won't find on really any other small inflatable boat is this adjustable seat. This backrest moves forward and back, and the reason is it has another unique thing that I've never seen on an inflatable boat before, and that is a full beam swim platform. So you can just imagine how easy it is to get in and out of the boat from the water. And of course, it's a great spot to lounge. So normally you're used to having some options for power. Yamaha, Suzuki, Tohatsu. But on the Velox, there's no choice because it is just one Rotax powered 90 horsepower 3-cylinder 4-stroke engine. And this is the same engine you'll find in the Sea-Doo Spark. So it's proven, it's 4-stroke, and it's incredibly reliable, and for a jet, quite good on fuel. And some other interesting features about the Velox are the 4 built-in cup holders to the side of the boat. This is something you don't really find on inflatable boats. And this aluminum sort of extruded structure here also works as a great platform to move from the cockpit to the aft part of the boat. Now, there are some options on the Velox too that we don't really see on the Sport 420, and one of them is this bimini and this arch. But one we do find on the 420 Sport is this big, massive sun pad, which is removable if you don't want it in there. But quite often we find ourselves in our Sport Highfield, going to the beach and just lounging on the boat. It's a great way not to have to bring chairs with you. And one of the reasons I really like inflatable boats are the capabilities of them. I mean, this boat weighs just over 1,000 pounds, 1,060 pounds, but it can carry 7 people and has a load capacity of over 1,200 pounds. When you think about that is in a boat that's under 15 feet in length, it's kind of crazy. And Highfield builds their sport models really to be capable offshore. And that means they all come with a marine-grade aluminum hull that has a 20-degree dead rise. So this boat is capable of taking some pretty big water. That's not normally important when it's sunny out. But if you do travel some distance, which you could in the Velox, and the weather turned, you're always guaranteed to know you're going to get back. And one feature you mostly find on commercial hardcore inflatables are these interior lines. And they've put it on the Velox just because they're so functional. Not only are they good handholds, but it's a great place to tie loose items that you might not want to fly out, like a ball cap. And if you look close at the interior upholstery on the Velox, it is unique to the Velox with its own very cool individual pattern. And something about Highfield boats that not everyone knows, some of the little details are underneath. So for example, all of the foam in this boat is reticulated foam. And what that means is water passes right through this foam. It won't absorb any water. So that keeps more rain and moisture away from the upholstery, which makes it last longer. And when you remove the front one, you will find storage underneath. And that's because there's no fuel tank up front. The entire fuel tank is underneath the floor. And the benefit of that, not only do you have more capacity for fuel, but it balances the load out the entire boat, which definitely improves the handling. So what's the Velox really all about? Well, it kind of takes the commercial application of an inflatable boat and turns it really into a proper recreational cottage style boat. One that the whole family can enjoy, anyone can drive, anyone can park, you can tow with it. Kind of just a really good, fun recreational boat.